everyone. Do you remember last week when we were learning about Stephen? And do you remember the name of the man who held the coats while the people threw the stones at Stephen? If you don't remember, his name is Saul. And today we're going on a journey with that person. So here we go. So if we were together, I would be getting you guys to draw these pictures, but I've drawn these pictures for you today. So here we are in Tarsus. This is Saul's hometown. So this is my hometown, Tarsus. My friends still call me Saul because that was my name growing up here. This is where I learned to be a tent maker. There were always lots of goats in the foothills. We would make wonderful tents from the goat's hair and tanned goat skin. I have just been visiting some old friends. We were remembering our wise teacher, Gamaliel. He helped us study the laws of the Hebrew scriptures. I wish I had listened to him when he advised us to leave the Christians alone. In those days, I believed that the followers of Jesus were wrong and that it was my duty to stop them. Many good people were put in prison and killed because of me. So Saul continues his journey, and this time to the city of Damascus. And Saul says, "A few years ago, I came to Damascus to arrest Ananias and the rest of the Christians here and put them into prison. On the last day of our journey, a brilliant light appeared out of nowhere. It was so blinding that I fell to the ground, covering my eyes. And then I heard a voice say, 'Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?' I was frightened. I couldn't see anyone. 'Who are you?' I called out. The voice answered me, 'I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting.' I was amazed. I thought Jesus was dead. Suddenly I knew that what I had been doing was very wrong. I knew that Jesus was still alive, just as the disciples had said. From that moment, I was a changed person. When the light disappeared, I found that I was blind. The men I was with led me into the city. Ananias came and healed me. He had a dream in which God told him to come and cure my blindness. Even though he was very scared, he came and my sight was given back to me. After that, I changed my name to Paul and began to tell others what had happened to me and why I was a Christian. Some of the religious leaders in Damascus became very angry that I had become a Christian. They planned to kill me. My new friends helped me escape over the city wall in the middle of the night by lowering me in a basket. And now we are in Philippi. And we're going to draw a large river across the whole sheet of paper. And Paul says, "I have had many adventures since I left Damascus. I traveled with several friends to various towns, preaching the good news of Jesus. Here in Philippi, I have been staying with a wonderful friend, Lydia. She sells purple-dyed cloth for a living. I first met her down by the riverside, worshiping with a group of women. They listened to me talk about the good news of Jesus. Lydia became a Christian and was baptized. She started inviting people to her home to hear me speak about Jesus. Actually, the Christians met in her home for worship each week. It is strange to think that the first churches were not great and special buildings, but ordinary homes, like Lydia's house. However, there were always some people who did not like to hear about Jesus. Several times I have been put into jail because some people didn't like what I was preaching." And now we're going to draw a large hill, and on the hill, draw some simple temple columns and some simple statues. And Paul says, "I traveled to many more towns and cities to help spread the good news of Jesus. Now we are here in Athens. Here I was asked to appear before the city's highest council and explain our teachings. I was surrounded by statues, altars, and temples for many different gods. I even saw an altar to an unknown god. Just in case any god had been forgotten, I said to the people, 'People of Athens, you are worshiping gods that you do not know. Let me tell you about God. God is the one who made the world and all the things that are in it. Then I told them about Jesus, who had come from God to teach us God's way. Most of the listeners made fun of me. A few wanted to hear more and invited me to speak again. Those few became Christians. That's how the Christian church spread. Each time, a few more people began to believe in the good news of Jesus, and they too started spreading the word. That's been a long trip. Wherever I went, people opened their homes to me and shared what they had. That was the way of Christians. We can't travel like Paul to share the good news. How can we do that right where we live? Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for this time to learn more about your love for us and to feel you near us. Amen.